Let's get started. Kate Kane dives into a frozen lake to grab a key to unlock a single handcuff around her ankle. She swims to the top with something over the hole she dove in from, immediately having flashbacks of a trauma in her past. She makes it out, rightfully yelling at her trainer who covered up the hole, explaining Batman abandoned the city a few years ago. Not because he was kidnapped, not because he had amnesia, nor because he was busy helping others. Just by him not simply caring.
I thought he abandoned Gotham for the same reason he abandoned my family, because he didn't care.
This is enough for me to call this show shit and be done with it, but I will continue. Citizens who love Batman are outside the city hall peacefully protesting the city to not destroy the bat signal, which they are doing in full display in a public venue, which actually makes everyone in the city government the bad guy here. Wife and husband are introduced. Crow's security firm filled the need of a Batmanless Gotham. Wife claims Batman gave up on us.
Batman gave up on us.
She's a bitch, and spoiler warning, deserves her death in episode 8, A Mad Tea Party.
Wake up! Mom, please!
Batman gave you free services for years, you ungrateful twat. Sophie, Kate's former lover, has been kidnapped in one of the most elaborate planning of using goons to sacrifice themselves to lead her to a specific point on a building to fall directly onto one spot. Saying it aloud, it actually fits Alice's villainous character, leading people down a rabbit hole. Exposition given while she rides a motorcycle. Oh, she's vegan, and her father's intolerance of her diet.
I didn't add cream, but please tell me you kicked that vegan thing, huh?
Stupid carnivore normative behavior, if you ask me. Sarcasm. Bruce Wayne gets a compliment. He's actually a caring individual. Yay! Two soldiers, presumably on duty, get in trouble for being gay. Not the fact that they were kissing in an inappropriate behavior for a soldier on duty. As ex-military, she was in the wrong. Both Kate and Sophie deface government property, but she only gets in trouble because of the gay. Breaking down the doors of one of the richest people in Gotham. MacGuffin necklace to be used later. MacGuffin! Luke apprehends Kate and gives the perpetrator his name. The questions he gives to identify her as being Bruce Wayne's cousin are stupid. Who the fuck knows this type of information? Security HQ, the place she needed to be this entire time. She handcuffs the guy to the wall. Kate cracks Bruce Wayne's high-tech security system with the word Alfred. Kate casually uses the software like it's not her first time accessing security video files from this specific software. She plugs in her USB, then wait, what? Where'd she get a USB? She steals the footage and leaves Luke with the key. A birthday surprise party. Surprise! A picture of Sophie on the wall reminds Kate of her past. Crumbling a piece of paper and littering on an army base. I can see why she was kicked out of the military. I mean, it's the gay. That's the reason. Gay. Kate gets in trouble for having the gay relations with Sophie. Kate tells Sophie that the military doesn't want her because she has the gay. I've been in the military for years. No one cared except for a few shitbags. Life moved on. Sophie tells Kate, unfortunately, I don't have the luxury of being offended by that.
But they don't want you. Unfortunately, I don't have the luxury of being offended by that.
This line was amazing! Being offended is a privilege. Yay! Somebody mentioned it, yay. But second off, Sophie was accused of the gay with, not separate, but with Kate. If you could simply dismiss an accusation and continue your career like what Sophie did, leaving wasn't the army's decision. It was Kate's decision. Glad we cleared that up. Kate finds her dad and literally uncovers the location of Sophie in the matter of seconds. Good thing she, of all people, was there. Kate heads to the location by herself. Kate then dodges an attack, as though she had eyes behind her head. An impossibility, one might say. She looks like a twig, but can definitely beat up heavier, stronger men. I totally believe that. She is an amazing fighter. Good thing she just is the thing she needs to be, just like where she needed to be before. Good thing none of that stupid training one has to do to get to where she is at her level is ever introduced. Stupid Bruce Wayne training like a poor person. Alice is the villain of the show, and I love the concept of her. A bit nutty like the Joker, but is more thematic than just a crazy person. Fortunately, Alice knocks Kate the fuck out. The follow-through is rather amazing.
How do you do?
Kate wakes up with her face unscathed in her stepsister's makeshift, illegal, but justified hospital. Kate heads back to dear old dad to bitch him out for not being supportive, as she is trying to explain to him that he needs to be more supportive. Ultimately, it's the father's fault, because Kate has self-esteem issues. But I'm not being ironic. This is incredibly controversial, but we're supposed to feel for her because she is a woman.
Over dinner, Korra comes out of the closet to Tonrock and Senna, who couldn't be happier. Tonrock advises Korra to be careful about dropping this bombshell on everyone, to which Korra responds,
I've dealt with a lot of narrow-minded people. I just didn't realize you were one of them.
You really are a horrible father.
Then she storms off. Bitch, are you for real? She apologizes to Asami for her insensitive parents. Insensitive parents.
She is allowed to feel bad. She can feel distanced from her father, but she went into combat without backup and rightfully failed. And her father is trying to get through to her that as her father, he wants to protect her. He lost a daughter, Kate's sister, but Kate thinks this is all about her. She deserves to be smacked in the head for it. Kate arrives the next morning to assault Luke. Luke, like the bitch he is, follows Kate around like the dog he is. The MacGuffin necklace comes into play. Luke, continuing to be a bitch, stutters and acts the fool.
Look, you don't want to do that. I mean, it looks really old. Probably not even up to code, it even works.
Kate enters the Batcave. Bats dance all around her, because this is now a Disney film apparently, and she is destined for much batness. The Batsuit looks like it has breasts. Kate's sister's death was caused by Batman's failure. You couldn't even have it as a random thug who did it. It had to be Batman's fault. Batman ain't perfect. Batman shouldn't, but you haven't given him much room to be competent at all. He saved 34 kids. Thank goodness they put this line in here. At this point, Luke, after trying to stop Kate from being in the Batcave, asks her not to touch anything. But later in the show, she uses those very same items with absolute competency. Stupid Bruce Wayne training like a poor person. And then the one quote that is the most controversial line in the entire show.
The suit is literal perfection.
It will be. When it fits a woman.
Its specialness is not from the person who donned it, doing good work. Its specialness is not from the gadgets, tech, or specs. No! Its specialness comes from having a vagina. Wow! Also, being a woman is biological, else this entire show is a farce, because what is a woman? If this show is catering to women and not transgender women who can simply identify as women without physical biological changes, then what is a woman? If being a woman is about feminine, then fighting isn't feminine. Thus, this show is a farce if it is not about catering to strong, physical, biological women. Good thing gender is based on sex, because 2019 was a very confusing time for gender. Let's get back to the show. The crow security guarding a movie in the park. Betrayal of a crow informing Alice of their movements. Alice calls the commander and reveals a bomb in the park. Batwoman shows up. She is competent using all the gadgets without any training or prep, and she's just ascended to godhood now. Stupid Bruce Wayne training like a poor person. Also, she has a customized batsuit that was literally tailor-made for her by the guy she beat up constantly from this episode. Also, how long does it take to make a custom batsuit and even don the fucking thing? Food for thought. In this very same episode, Batwoman is literally invincible. It's not bullet resistant, it's not bulletproof, it's kinetic proof. But Alice, swinging her paddle at her, knocks her down. Wow! Alice can throw a knife into concrete. Fuck you, physics. When Sophie falls, Kate rushes to catch her, then falls to their death. Oh, they're alive. Apparently, a 20-floor straight freefall on your back with someone on top of you is nothing compared to a woman swinging a paddle. Just because The Dark Knight did it doesn't mean it was good then. The biggest issue is that she's not even winded from the fall. Girl says she's Batman. Then Batwoman flies away. When did she ever have the time to test out this function in the Batsuit? Really, show? Are you freaking kidding me? Everyone relishes Batman being back. The Crows are out to get the vigilante. Sophie confronts Kate, revealing her husband by accident. Kate and her father talk it out. The commander wanted to keep his last biological daughter alive. Kate wishes for more freedom. Then the commander had to apologize for being selfish and overly protective. Still being hung up by losing one of his children in a very dramatic way. To then not lose Kate, he lets her into the Crows. This wouldn't be a woke show if Kate didn't have an epilogue of her explaining that her own father didn't want her after he just said he did. These are the 3 things she was running towards everything that didn't want her.
But I was running toward everything that didn't want me. A military academy, a private army, my own father.
1. The military. 2. The private army. And 3. Her own father. Let's go in order, shall we? The military academy. It was because she had the gay, but she could have waited until they were off duty. Her ex-girlfriend even chose to stay in the military. Sophie denied the accusations and continued to work. But the army didn't kick Kate out. Kate chose to leave. Number 2, the private army, or the Crows. Ran by her own father, who didn't want her in there to save her from unnecessary danger. That seems like a very appropriate line, appropriate reason. Number 3, again, her own father. Her own father wanted to keep her at a safe distance to protect her. It's not that he didn't want her. He said and proved he does want her in his life. She got 2 of the 3 things she's bitching about. Holy shit, Kate. You're an ungrateful bitch. We've got a privileged white lesbian claiming she's oppressed in 2019. Wow. Okay, let's wrap this up. I've been talking a while, so in 3 words, this show sucks. I'm tired of pandering political messages.
The suit is literal perfection.
It will be. When it fits a woman.
I'm tired of hating on men, fathers, and boys, making them weak.
Look, you don't want to do that. I mean, it looks really old. Probably not even up to code, it even works.
This show needs an extreme makeover, and I will be doing that soon. I will be doing a mock screenwrite of what I would like to think is a better version than this Batwoman. That's something that I am looking forward to, and I hope that you are. Please post your comments, questions, and concerns right down below. Please hit that like, share, and subscribe button because that would greatly help this channel out, and I will be seeing you next time.
Wow! Really? That wasn't even anything. Shit. That's hilarious.